Hello everybody, and may we be blessed today in whatever today you're watching these words, if there's subtitles, and hearing them. My name is Richard Kirby. I'm a bishop in the Episcopal World Church. This is the second of 3 talks laying out the theory and practice of being a bishop today and tomorrow. This talk is called The Bishops of Today, and we have undertaken to use the method of Aristotle to compare and contrast different ways of being a bishop in order to find the general good, the common good, the high good, the highest good, the genius of episcopacy. And each of these words, I would say to our students, matters. I'm not using a lot of synonyms. Each of the things that I said there needs individual attention. The common good is not the same as the highest good, although they can overlap. If we ask what is the highest good of the state, that is the common good, or at least it's a version of it. But the common good could just be something like getting our water changed today. In the world of theology, episcopacy, we ask the high question. This is the high noon of all thinking, the summit of our thought, the apotheosis of our thinking, in other words, is to look for the absolute good. So as we explore and survey the world of bishops today, we start with some simple issues and then start to spread our net widely. And the first question is, does anybody have any opinions on what a bishop should be? Well, the Bible does, for starters. The Bible tells us that a bishop should be, well, I was going to say contentedly married, but it doesn't actually say that. A bishop should be, if married to the same person continuously. The bishop should be a model of character. The bishop should be a person of wisdom, prudence, moderation, and those theological and spiritual virtues. Okay. Well, so far, that could be said of the chief financial officer of an organization, or any manager, really. So is there anything different about being a bishop? Perhaps a bishop is essentially just a manager. Well, no, it's not so. A bishop is an episkopos who's given the epi, or over, the skopos, the sight, oversight of pastors and their flocks. But this skopos, this looking, is not the kind of looking of a manager looking to see the ideal prophet. The look, the skopos of the bishop is a look with the gaze of love's eyes, the look of mercy, the look of forgiveness, the look of kindness, and in fact, the look that children, babies, are born to seek with their own eyes, the look that sinners and criminals want to see, eyes of mercy, eyes of kindness, eyes of love. The bishop can be thought of as the chief fundraiser of an organization. This is a most terrible error, my children. Let me explain it to you this way. Supposing we say that obviously a bishop needs to raise money. The bishop has a position in society. The flocks need money. That's what they need most of all. Therefore, the bishop is, at his least, a professional fundraiser with a blessing. And as I might say, at his worst, he's essentially a bank manager or even a bank founder. I say this, of course, with a twinkle in my eye, which for those of you for whom English is not first language, a twinkle in my eye means I think it's merry, very funny. That would be a catastrophe for a bishop, and frankly, I've seen some who've fallen into that catastrophe. They have taken what's been called filthy lucre, money, and made it their god, just as was the case with the golden calf and the Israelites. We have to take so seriously the saying of Jesus about God and mammon. It's like a tattoo on our hearts. You cannot serve both God and mammon, says Jesus. You cannot make money your idol, your God. your goal. God and grace are not the same as money and banks. And the terrible illusion that we fall into so easily is the idea that if we would just amass enough wealth, we would have successful congregations. Well, we could have corrupted congregations by doing that, and all too often that's exactly what happens. In fact, even if my own seminary, which is one of great standing in the world, the dean and president seems to be fond of putting out as newsletters how much money the seminary has. Frankly, this is a catastrophe. So let's ask us, what is it that a bishop really wants? Bishop wants God. God is not money. God is spirit. And the spirit that God is has revealed himself to be love, mercy, but much more than that. The so-called divine attributes, beauty, truth, supernal goodness, the absolute ideal, the fountainhead of creation, the continuance of divine creativity, the presentation of forgiveness and mercy in a proactive way so that our Father in heaven runs to us when we take a step back from the world of sin. A bishop is not the man who goes to the ATM machine every day on behalf of his flock. He's a man who goes to the altar every day on behalf of his flock. He's not the man who stands waving at the world's billionaires. He's a man who kneels before God to receive fresh inspiration. And that inspiration has to do with the life of the church, he ekklesia, which comes from two Greek words, ek and klesia, out, ek, klesia, called. Holy Church is the community of people of love and forgiveness, which is called to separate itself from those who do not do these things, not as a sign against them, but just in order to be focused on love. The way I see it, it's very, very simple. Here are a group of people who need water. There is a big boulder that's blocking the water supply. This is an image of grace. Water is divine grace that pours down from heaven continuously if we will have it so. All good things come from heaven. Habitual grace is what theologians call it. Together, we can get around that boulder, pull it away, and a gushing power of love emerges. Separately, we can't do it. This is what the bishop is to do, is to create communities of love. The love is God's love, praise, thanksgiving. This is the first duty of the bishop today. Thank you.